Saturday's been long. We've been running around. We've been meeting all our favorite people. I'm gonna give you one more time. Okay, we're gonna do it again. Take two. Ready? Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second. Saturday, how we doing? Thank you. That's what I like to hear. My friends, are we so excited to meet the cast of Chainsawman? Yeah! Okay. Some quick things before we start. I know we want to get into it, but I just want to let you know how this is going to go down. Do we see our friend over here on the microphone? You too could be at the microphone if you so have a question. If you would like to line up even now, you are absolutely free to do so. But if you have a question, this little aisle right here is where we'll be lining up. Sound good?
Yes.
Everybody gets it great, amazing, amazing. We're gonna have a little spotlight on you. Your face is gonna be up there. Everybody can see you. It's gonna be so fun and so amazing, amazing. All right, without further ado, my friends, please welcome to the stage the voice of Pochita, Miss Lindsay Seidel. She might have expected a little bit more. No, she's here. She's here. I love your stripes. Oh my God, she's so cute. Yeah! And of course, the Chainsaw Man himself, Mr. Denji. It's Ryan Colt, Levy! He's speaking. He's unsure. It's like a creature. He's got to go around. This is my seat, though. You can't sit in this one. Because this seat doesn't have a microphone, so you have to have a microphone, my friend. Hey guys.
I can scream.
You can, but we want to make sure you can scream at work also.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Hi, friends. Hello. Look at all these beautiful people. What's up?
Thanks for joining us.
How we doing, Pookies? How's the weekend?
Oh my gosh.
It's been great.
It's been good.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
Amazing. I think, were we both here 2 years ago?
I was here last year.
You were here last year.
Yeah.
So I was here 2 years ago and absolutely fell in love with the whole city. It's super cool and very much happy to kind of feel familiar this time and like, oh, if I go left here, I know where the coffee shop is.
Yeah.
So it's been lovely. And you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for showing up.
If you've had the time, my friends, what has been like a favorite? Have you been able to venture to the outside? What's been your favorite find?
Ryan's better about doing that than I am.
Okay.
So Ryan, take it away.
Take it away.
So I found an amazing jazz club called the
That's so
Ginger
you.
Rabbit. Yeah.
Say it again, what's it called?
It's called the Ginger Rabbit.
Ginger Rabbit.
It's like
okay.
maybe a 15-minute walk from here. Really excellent jazz, like beautiful kind of speakeasy vibe, really like vibey. And I have like my rules when I come to different cities. I try and find good coffee and some kind of place with atmosphere and some delicious local food, and that's usually like my trifecta.
And you're really good at it. You're good at finding the places.
Yeah.
Always. He hasn't let me down so far.
Denji's got to eat, man.
Anybody here been to Ginger Rabbit before? Anybody gonna go to Ginger Rabbit after this, now that we know it's a sick jazz club, a 15-minute walk from the convention center? Yeah, thank you, that's what
The
I'm
crossover
saying.
of anime and jazz is only so
I'm saying, listen, I could talk all day about
No,
why you should sing and also do anime.
I will say, last night I went with my buddy TK and we were sitting there and one of the songs, while it was like in the middle of going, I'm like, this is absolutely like an anime intro. It felt like something that like was opening up like a My Hero episode or something.
Oh, dude.
Really epic, yeah.
That's so sick. So what's been, like, in traveling, what's been your favorite outside of the con thing that you've been able to do? So many options. She's the worldly woman.
So many options. I mean, probably the coolest experiences have been when we've gotten to go abroad. So I've been to London for MCM London Comic Con, and that was amazing. And I don't know if there's any like one specific sightseeing thing, you know, that I did, but I love like just walking around the city and kind of getting the vibe for it. I mean, recently I was in Boise, Idaho, which most people wouldn't necessarily find like super exciting, but it was beautiful, and it felt so nice, like just walking around downtown, and like the weather was perfect, and you see the mountains in the background. Yeah, I think that's really my favorite thing to do, is just kind of walk around if I end up making the time for it, because I'm not always good at that. But
Fun fact, in London it's pochita.
Is it really?
Well, they all, yeah.
I don't know. I believe you if you told me that.
Denji.
Oh my God, Pokes. They just totally skipped the
Pochita.
That's so cute. Oh, I love that. Is there so many people coming up to your tables, like saying it like that?
It's really fun. It's trippy in London and Australia and New Zealand I was in recently, and I would not have imagined how many people like are obsessed with the show there too. It's very cool. Yeah, it's fun. Actually, something in London that the first time I went to England for a con, I was really thrown because, you know, like here we'll be like, oh hey, how are you? How was your day? Like, how's it going? in the UK, when they come up to you and they say hi, they go, "You all right?"
Right.
So
Yeah,
the first like 6 people to do it, I was like, "Do I look unwell?" Like, I promise I'm
Everyone's
okay.
worried
I know
about
it's a
me.
long flight, but I think I don't look that sickly.
You're right.
He's ill. You gotta help him.
All right, I'm like, yeah,
You're
thanks.
right.
You okay? Yeah.
That's so cute. I didn't know that. I've never heard that before. That's so sweet.
That's how they say hi.
That's so cute. Okay, more general question, and then we'll lock in with my folks over there. But I wanted, I know we gotta. Since it's summer and it's so hot outside, I would love to know.
So
It's
hot.
So hot. What has been the best summer vacation you've ever had in your life?
Ever?
Yeah, ever.
Oh, okay. Dublin, Ireland.
That's a good answer.
Because it wasn't hot there.
There you go.
That's where I went for my honeymoon.
Special.
And it was really amazing. Highly recommend. It was really cool. We went to Dublin, but then we also went out into the countryside too, and stayed at like a medieval castle converted into a hotel situation,
Sick.
and it was great. But I specifically, because we got married in the summer, my husband loves, beachy stuff and tropical stuff, and I'm like cool with that. But I also don't love sweating. It's not my
Controversial,
favorite.
I know.
It's not my favorite. And so, because it was like in the dead of summer, we got married in August. I was like, can we go somewhere for a honeymoon that's not hot? And he's a great guy, and he was like, yeah, honey, whatever you want. That's why I married him.
I was just gonna
Very
say, yeah.
sweet. There you go. You
And
won.
He pretty much lets me.
That's how you know they're the one.
Lets me drive the ship.
If
It's
that's
great.
what you need, yeah, girl, get into it.
Listen, we're coming up. This coming August will be our 10-year wedding
Oh,
anniversary.
that's so special. That's a big
So
number.
my
Let's go.
best recommendation, you guys, as far as finding a life partner, you can't go wrong with number one, somebody who's kind, and number two, somebody who's easygoing. Can't say that I'm easygoing.
Maybe
So,
that's what you have
that
to
sucks
find.
for
If
him.
you're not, find the
Sucks for
easygoing.
him.
And if you're easygoing,
Yeah.
So easygoing.
He's so easygoing. It's great. Anyway.
good balance. So
I
finding
digress.
balance, I think kindness and balance is what I'm doing.
Absolutely,
Amazing.
yeah. I'm fun though, I'm really fun.
Nervous.
I make him laugh.
Yeah, you guys thought you were coming to a Chainsawman panel. It's actually relationship advice. So lock in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here.
Love
Summer
thyself.
vacation. I got you. Yes, that's what's most important always. If you need love thyself, go to Ryan's Twitter. You will love yourself after
That's all I
reading
got.
anything. Yeah.
Man, best summer vacation ever. Honestly, I mean, I don't think like as an adult I've really had like a proper getaway, but I do think that there was one summer I remember, like it was fresh after high school, and I had this like last summer with so many of my really close friends, and we all knew we were going to be in different places, and life was going to get way more expansive, and we got together almost every night, and we had one friend who had this like really amazing house, and he had this beautiful record player, and we would all bring vinyl records over and just hang out for hours and listen to records and just talk about life and aspirations and all these things. And I find myself often thinking back to those times, because it's such a time capsule that like will never ever be accessible again, and it was like so developmental, I feel like, for just like my soul at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was lovely.
It speaks to who you are now, I think, because like that is the most you answer that you could have given, seriously. Okay, last thing for me, and then we'll turn it over to my friends over here. I would love to know about your experience specifically with Chainsawman and getting to know your cast because of how big the show is and getting to do press for it. And just for folks that don't know, because you guys don't record together, so can you talk a little bit about like forming relationships with your castmates and how special that is?
So you don't get to choose your cast members, obviously. We're lucky we get chosen to do the work, period, that we do, and then you end up with a cast of people, and you hope that you'll get along or that there'll be some kind of vibe, but it is rare to get to do something, one, at this scale, period, but to do it with people that you deeply admire, not just as like creative, artistic, talent, but genuinely lovely, weird people. Like, we have such a genuine family. I mean, we've all fallen so deeply in love with each other. We've known each other now for, 3 years after all this, the traveling and everything, and I feel like I've known them my whole life. we make sure that when we're in cities together, we spend, you know, as much time getting dinners or coffee or whatever it is. It's a real, like, weird honor and privilege. Because I, you know, also, like, getting older and having careers and all this stuff, you kind of almost think like, oh, well, I'm gonna have less time for friends and for social life and all this stuff. And this has been the greatest gift. It's been so fulfilling. We laugh all the time. We are constantly just making, like, inside jokes and looking out for each other. And it makes a huge difference too with a show like this, where you have to go to really dark places, you know, or cover subject matter that can be really sensitive and uncomfortable. And to know that even if you're not in the same physical space, that your scene partner is looking out for you and cares for you and is putting in, you know, that intention and that space for you also. Like, you want each other to shine, you know? So it's like, nobody's trying to win the scene, everyone's trying to make it the best, where everybody can just come out on top, and it's amazing. I mean, I'm sure you guys have had the chance to meet Sarah and Reagan and Susie at some point, and they're extraordinary humans, like, and crazy, crazy talented. And the extended cast, like, all the people that come to play with us too are amazing. We've been so lucky. That was a rant, I'm sorry.
No, please.
No, you
Everybody
said
is here to listen to you talk, so.
That's absolutely, yeah. No, you said it beautifully. I couldn't have said it better myself. It is such a special aspect of it that, you know, coming into it back when, you know, I auditioned for the show, I wasn't even thinking about who else. You know, I mean, I guess at the time I already knew.
You're like, who cares? I'm the star.
Oh, I'm Chainsawman.
By the time they held auditions for Pochita, the rest of the main cast was already cast and announced and everything, so I did actually already know who was in it. But just in general, when you audition for things, like, I mean, for me personally, I don't really think about, like, oh, who else is gonna be in it too? You're just hoping to get the part so that you can keep being a working actor. But it's such an amazing perk that comes along with it a lot of times. And I think probably more than any other show that I've been in so far, there's something about the Chainsawman cast in particular that feels extra like a family. I don't know, it's ended up being really, really special.
We really like, nobody in our crew, like, we live with, like, no judgment. And it doesn't mean we don't rip each other apart, like, for fun, for jokes, but, like, there is so much love there, and everybody is so individual and so weird, and, like, all of our personalities, you, like, almost wouldn't expect us to all be friends.
We're all very
like,
different.
Very different.
Very different, but it just works.
You get us together, and it's like just a pack of gremlins.
Yeah, I feel like when you are genuine and you know yourself, you can get along with other people if they are also genuine and know themselves. Like,
Yes.
it's a matter of
That's
just.
what it is.
Yeah.
I think you hit the nail on the head.
Well, thank you. Call me a hammer, hey. All right, my friends, let's turn it over to you. What is your name, my love?
Hi, my name is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. My question is, what's the most emotional scene you've recorded in Chainsawman so far?
I think for me, it's still probably the in the first episode when Denji is having his kind of meditation on, like, it's right after he's forged, you know, with Pochita, and he comes out of the dumpster and he realizes what's happened, or is putting together what's happened, and he has that kind of thought about, you know, I guess everybody has dreams of different scales, and it's not a bad thing, you know. But that whole moment and the speech he has with Pochita on the log, all of that was, like, really deeply, deeply resonant to me. I think that, like, you know, Denji's a really deep, layered, sweet guy, and there's a lot that, you know, he still has to unpack. And there's a lot that we haven't even got to explore yet, really. I think the other scene that I can think of offhand, because so much of season 1 was really just, like, so visceral, and it wasn't as much really getting into so much of that just yet. But the scene after Himino gives him a kiss, and he is in the bathroom, and he is just, like, not only puking out literal puke, but his, you know, his heart and his soul of just, like, every time I think someone's going to, you know, show me affection, it's just like I get taken down another notch, and it's just like that emptiness he has and that desire to just be seen, you know, is so profound.
Pochita doesn't have like a lot to choose from.
Show me your dreams. Show me your dreams.
So yeah, that would be the scene. The most emotional for him.
We can expand it. If there's another show that you've been in that you really feel like this was very
I would say
emotionally
the most emotionally raw character I've ever played is definitely also people's like least favorite character of all time, which is my character from Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Gabi, don't kill me.
People don't think about how difficult it is to do roles like that.
to be an awful
Yeah, I mean, some people do, to give some people credit. Some people do, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people also have trouble, like, like don't understand what an actor is. And that like we're playing a role and we're not literally the characters we play. Like, but anyway. I digress. But no, aside from obviously the unpleasant death threats I got over that character, from an actor's perspective, it was actually one of my favorite roles that I've played because she had so many layers to her and she went through so much character development, and by far out of any character I've ever played, she had the most emotionally raw scenes. And it was very, very like rewarding as an actor to actually, get to do scenes like that. So yeah,
For sure. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You know what I just thought of that I didn't like until just now, kind of like. There's like definitely an irony to like all the people who like watch the show and send you death threats over that, and like and the idea of like if given the opportunity to play a character in a show, they would probably all be like, yes, the amount of people that would
think, right? I've had that thought too, but then I've also had people come up to me and they're like, would you have agreed to play this role if you knew? And I'm like, of course I would.
Yeah.
Like, would you not accept a role in Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
And it's an incredibly satisfying thing to be challenged like that, and
Yes.
as an actor, like that's so rewarding. And I think a lot of people conflate, like there's like positive and negative, all this stuff, versus like you're servicing the story, and you need to be able to
That's the
like
thing.
the story's not going to have the effect unless you give it what it needs, and like it's a good testament that it hit that hard,
I mean, I do appreciate it when people say like, well, the fact that people hate you so much just is, a testament
doesn't
to
validate
what a
hatred.
good job you did. And I'm like, that's sweet, but the reason why people hate her has nothing to do with my performance and everything to do with, no spoilers, what she does, an action that she does, which I had no say in.
She
That was
stole
all
a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
No!
That was
That beat. No, yeah, it was all the writer, right? I had no say in any of that, but yeah, it's really interesting, how different people think about it. And again, to give people credit, I would say, I think most people that have come up and talked to me about it, even if they hate what the character did, and even hate the character, it doesn't bother me when people hate the character. I mean, that was intentional. Like, the writer obviously intended for people to hate her. That was kind of the whole point, is like, he's like, what can I have her do that will make people hate her so much? But then, and then kind of make them realize later on.
We're good. We're so mature and professional.
We're so grown up, and we
That's all I
are
got.
adults. Make them think later on too, like, well, wait a second, I hate her, but also she's kind of exactly the same as Aaron, so wait. And so it's supposed to cause people to have cognitive dissonance about that. And that was like kind of the whole point of the character. And to give, again, a lot of the viewers credit, a lot of people did pick up on that. But there are some people out there that did not pick up on that.
Well, it's like that poor kid who played Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
He stopped acting because everybody
Right?
just was
Isn't
like,
that crazy?
Oh no, that's devastating.
yeah, pretty rough. Sorry, anyway.
We digress.
Thank you so much. Hi there. What's your name, my friend?
Roberto.
Hi, Roberto.
What's up, Roberto?
So, are you all right?
That was lovely.
I'm doing great, thanks.
Okay. My real question is, what other foods you two, not you two, Benji and Pochita would like to try besides jelly toast?
Oh man, I mean, I don't think there's a food Denji won't want to try. I mean, I feel like he would probably lose his mind over like a triple cheeseburger.
Oh.
You know, that would be like so decadent.
That Big Mac, baby.
I would love to see him though. Like, honestly, it would be really funny to see Denji in power at like high tea. You know, with like a little tower and little baby tea sandwiches.
That's
and, like,
awesome.
I
just
love
seeing,
that
like,
visual.
That's awesome.
Completely, yeah. It would
Full
like.
chainsaw.
Someone
yeah.
needs to make a fan art of that.
Yeah,
That
someone
would be
out there.
great.
How about a jelly croissant?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yeah, that
there you
sounds
go.
delicious.
Absolutely.
So he can still get his jelly, but he is in fact at high tea.
Every time we do these panels and someone brings up the food stuff, I get so hungry.
It was just around dinner time too, so I'm like,
Right.
man, Big Mac sounds good right
Like,
now.
yeah, what doesn't sound good?
Your accent was lovely. That was stellar. Thank
Well
you.
done,
Thank
Roberto,
you.
well done. Thank you so much. What's
Wait
up,
a
Denji?
second. How can I be here and there at the same time?
He looks so familiar. Where have I seen him before?
You guys gotta take the Spider-Man picture, like pointing at each other.
I really want him to sound like Bane though when he talks.
Let's go. I'm my friend. Yeah, exactly.
Hi.
It's so clear. It's so clear. That was amazing. What's your name, my friend?
Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Quick preface question. Have either of you read the manga?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Question for you, Ryan.
And wait, before we go into it,
Ooh.
Not
for the
never-
sake of
Not really like any like big spoilers.
awesome,
or anything.
perfect.
You know what's
read
up.
my
I-
mind.
you
Oh,
got
little
it,
yeah.
tiny baby
Well,
spoiler.
what's your what do you think your preferred love interest is of Denji's? Rezi or Asa?
Oh man, that's so complicated. Some people may not have any clue with what the other answer, but I think both are really both have a lot of really deeply compelling reasons to why there's a lot there in their connection. There's so much I can't say. How do I skirt around this? I mean, I personally think that, you know, especially now that we're in it currently, like all of the stuff with Asa is so fascinating, and there's very intentionally like a parallel thing happening there. I think my concern is that Fujimoto just loves to break hearts, and I feel like Denji's path, especially with discovering acceptance and affection and love and connection, I don't know what the end goal is, you know, with the story. I think like so much of it is a meditation on loneliness and acceptance and self-worth and connecting with other people and finding what that balance is. And I think it's a really complicated conversation, and I think in life, different people that we interact with give like different chunks of our soul, you know, like there have been people who have been in more than one relationship, and like just because one didn't work out doesn't mean that that person isn't still like a major part of who you were and who you are, and develops where you go. So I think even regardless of where Denji's at in his journey, I think everyone that he's had interactions with, especially on that deep level, like they all resonate with him. And we know that there's been callbacks to things, and you know, even in further chapters. I'm trying to be so vague about this.
You're doing great.
You're doing
But
great.
I think you know what I'm saying. You know,
You're doing
and
great.
ultimately, I really am fascinated by his chemistry with Asa. I'm just terrified, but I think it's yeah. But I am also kind of like just on the ride, very much like letting it happen, because I learned a long time ago that I cannot predict anything that's going on in this story, and I love it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You look freaking awesome.
I know, that's so sick.
Dude, you look great.
Everybody give a round of applause. Round of applause for this cosplay. This is so cool. Yes. Real quick, is there anybody else cosplaying Chainsawman in here? Do you want to stand up? I don't know if there's. I don't know.
We got the
Beautiful. Okay, amazing. You guys look so good.
It's like Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
You guys all have to take the Spider-Man photos together.
Yes.
All right, my friend. Hi there. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Ricky, and my question I have for both of you guys is, throughout your careers, what would you say is the role or roles that most, let's say, helped you grow in your acting abilities and as voice actors?
Good question. Good question.
You already know.
It's like when you get the food and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go.
The French fries. I don't know.
Yeah. I think for me, I mean, there's different kind of touchstones, right? As an actor, like
Yeah.
there's never just one, because you're always developing and growing, and hopefully getting better and learning. And I think I can see like stages. There are certain characters where I felt growth and understanding. I mean, my very first anime role is a character named Jazz in a show called Welcome to Demon School. Hey, it's kind of a deep cut, but somebody does it. And that was the first time that I got brought in to play a character that was kind of in my personality and energy space, and it was a lesson in being comfortable and not having to like play a character and just trust the like process, and just let my natural energy like fill in that space. And I learned a lot from that. I think Rhodey in My Hero Academia was a major breaking point for me, because there was so much to his story that I could like really dig into, because up until that point a lot of my characters were, side characters, or they didn't have like whole like really meaty arcs to get to like, sit in. And he was the first one that really had this story that you got to experience a full arc, and he was so like well fleshed out and had layers of elements of my own life and things that I could pull from, and it was really exciting to be a part of something, because at that time My Hero to me was like the high bar of what dubbing was doing and everything. It was so compelling and eclectic, and the performances were so genuine and unique, and it felt like a deep responsibility to be like a part of it and not mess it up. And then obviously Denji has like been a whole other, I mean there is yet to be a thing that I have done outside of Denji that is as challenging, emotionally rewarding, cathartic, just in every way. It is a constant gift, and I'm learning all the time from him and from you guys and from this process. So that's kind of like off the top of my head.
That was amazing off the top of your head. Yeah. I'm like, you just open your mouth and
I'll have the shrimp.
You're like, you see what happens? I'm impressed with what happened.
What would we say if we had time to think about it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Whoa,
right?
that'd be the whole panel. It'd be amazing.
We'll get that
It
to
took
you
way
tomorrow.
shorter.
Man, it's hard to like hone in on one specific character that I feel like I really grew the most with, but kind of what I think about more with my voiceover roles is there are certain characters that helped me hone like types of voices more so. So like the first thing that came to mind for me was Nagisa in Assassination Classroom. Which it's wild that I was even cast in that role in the first place. They did not hold auditions for it. And at that point, I had voiced a few young boy characters at that point, but they were like very much side characters, or nothing very big. And the director who cast me, Joel McDonald, love him, he's the best. Although I'd worked with him before, I don't think he'd ever directed me in something where I was voicing a boy. So I don't know like why he thought I could do that.
It's that thing, like, one, directors have good intuition, I think, a lot of the time, but also,
Yeah.
like, they don't just see you as the thing you're playing.
It's
they
true.
get a sense of your personality and your energy, and they're like, you can do that. Like, they, like, know what you can kind of,
Let's just say he had a lot more confidence in me than I had in myself for that role. And it was really funny because I got the email that, I'd been cast in this show, but they didn't tell me who I was playing. And so I knew I was coming in to record for it, and I didn't know what the role was. And back then I was like too shy to ask.
Yeah.
I was just like, whatever, I'll take it. And so ahead of time I Googled the series to try to guess like what role I'd been cast in. And so I was reading through all of the like, all the roles, all of the classroom kids. And upon reading that like, okay, the protagonist is this like boy, Nagisa, that like would be voiced by a girl because it's voiced by a woman in the Japanese, and the reason why is because he gets mistaken for a girl all the time. There's a whole backstory to that, which those of you who've seen the show know about. But anyway, I digress. I'm very good at digressing. So I remember seeing that and being like, well, I hope It's not that character. And the reason why is because I was definitely not confident in my like young boy voice. I'd done it a few times, but like it wasn't something that I felt like came very easily to me. And the fact that this was like the protagonist of the story, I was like, I feel like I need a little more practice working on side characters with like a young boy voice before I like dive right into like a protagonist character. And so, but of course I get there and Joel tells me that that is who I'm playing, and like externally I'm like, oh my gosh, oh that's awesome, yay, and internally I'm like, oh no. I was like,
Yeah, with the fire and the dog, yeah.
I was like really stressed about it, and then he, you know, he was trying to like, you know, he was excited about it, whatever, and instead internally, my reaction to his excitement and him talking about like, oh, there's all this hype about this in Japan, like, you know, the manga's super popular. I'm like, oh no, so a lot of people are gonna see this, and probably a lot of people have like a preconceived notion of like how the character should sound, and I'm gonna disappoint all of them, and
Don't worry, that'll be years later.
So, yeah, right. Really though. But no, anyway, I am so grateful to this character though, because number one, it's a great character regardless, but I really, that was that character that made me really comfortable doing young boy voices. So ever since that character, anytime I've been cast in anything that requires a young boy voice, it's like, it's no problem. I'm like, I pull it out very easily. And if it wasn't for that role, you know, that's what gave me the practice in it, so.
Nice. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Hey, good to see you again.
Do you want the more fun question or more serious question?
Let's do more fun.
What do you
It's
want?
Saturday
What are you
afternoon.
feeling?
Yeah.
I can do both. Where you answer a lot of more serious questions, I would have to do fun. But if your characters could meet any of the other characters you voiced, who do you think would be the most interesting interaction?
Who's besties in your roster?
I would actually
That is fun.
love to see Denji interact with John Watson, because that would be absolute chaos.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What would they discover together? That's so fun.
Oh, John would discover that he's got an animal in his apartment. Yeah, that's what he would discover. I think it would just be really funny to see somebody so proper with someone totally unhinged.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Lindsay?
Well, this thought was inspired by some fan art that I've seen of these two characters. So, Nejire Hato from My Hero Academia, I've seen fan art of her like cuddling Pochita, and it's the cutest thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, they would be buddies. It'd be cute.
That's very cute.
To be fair, I feel like Pochita's friends with him.
Also true.
That's
Like,
true.
who wouldn't he get along with, right?
Get anybody talking about their dreams. Let's go. Thank you so much. That was a fun question. I like that a lot.
Appreciate it.
Hello. What's your name, my friend?
My name's Emily.
Hi, Emily. What's your question?
My question is, I know you said you have pretty good chemistry with the rest of the cast. I wonder if there's any parts of your characters that come from yourselves that might make the chemistry between the characters work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's more apparent when we're all together, but especially if you see me, Sarah, and Reagan together, you very much understand why we were cast as Denji and Power. Reagan is the most extraordinary, like talented, humble, like very reserved. He really can, like, when we're like comfortable and out, he's like super fun, but like he can be really quiet, and like he reads Latin, he sings opera, like it's like very on par. Sarah and I, we met.
Just a couple of idiots.
Yeah, exactly. We met like a year before we got cast in the show together at a different con, and we immediately had that dynamic, which I call idiot sibling energy.
Yes.
And I mean, she deals with it all the time. She's
I
constant.
love it. It's my favorite though. I do. I love it.
It's like there's just something like the second she shows up, and we just like we'll see each other and just like greet each other. It's like
The Gremlin Squad, of course.
just
Yes.
total unhinged chaos. It is. I mean, if we're next to each other at a table, she's throwing shit at me all weekend. Like it's nonstop. And it's the
She
best.
like hid under your table once, yeah?
She's hid under my table. We deface each other's prints. It's wonderful. I could not be happier with our chemistry. It's the best.
And it's the best to watch too. It's the best, yeah.
Good question, my friend. Thank you so much. Hello, hello. What's your name, my friend?
Kate,
Hi, Kate. What's your question?
excluding the Chainsaw Devil, what devil would you have a contract with?
The coffee devil.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. What do you think?
The nap devil.
Yeah.
Would it be that you like always wake up refreshed? Because whenever I take a nap, I don't know about you guys.
It's worse. It's so much worse.
It's
No.
so much worse.
Yes.
I take a nap and I wake up. I'm like,
No.
what year is
I
it?
I never wake up feeling better,
No.
but it doesn't matter.
But I feel good going down. That's what naps are
My
actually for.
weakness.
Is for the falling asleep part in the beginning, not for the aftermath.
Thank you.
Good question, my friend. Thank you so much. We've got just about under 10 minutes. I think we should be able to get through all of you, my friends. I think that's be perfect.
Yes,
So we'll
we'll
say,
be less
Denji with
verbose.
Pochita will be our last, I think. Go ahead, my friend.
I'll digress less.
That's okay. No. What's your name, my friend?
I'm Justin.
Hi, Justin.
What's up, brother?
That's a physics Devil. My question for both of you, and I have a caveat for Ryan on this. What is your favorite line you recorded, or from any character in the show, from the entire cast right now? Ryan, you are not allowed to steal any of Vegeta's lines.
You know what? I'm going to use one of Powers that I think is really underappreciated. When she's like shoving her face with ramen and she's talking to Himeno and she goes, "Speak, harlot! Either you and Denji copulated yesterday eve or you're lying."
That's
I
awesome.
remember that and I was like, Jessica, our adapter, I was like, God damn, that's fucking funny, man.
Jessica Slice. Oh my
Jessica
God.
Slice. So all of the great one-liners in this show, you put the dick in predictable, like all that stuff, that is Jessica.
She's so good.
She's the best, the
She's
absolute
so
best.
funny.
It is a gift every time to go and record and see her dialogue.
She's so good at what she does. She really is. Kidding. Oh yeah, nuts or nothing. That's a great one. Yeah. And Ryan whispered something else entirely
Not
in
that.
my ear. It wasn't even that.
I was hoping you were doing in Pochita's voice.
Oh, I could do that. Nuts are nice.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, my friend. That's awesome. That was so cute. Wow. Unexpected little gift. That was so cute. Hi there, my friend. What's your name?
Carter.
Say it again, Carter.
Yeah.
Hi, Carter. What's your question?
I have a question on the movie that's coming up.
On the movie?
So it's a quote from the manga, I think. Am I allowed to ask it?
Sure, yeah.
Someone else's question inspired, like the most emotional thing we've had to voice act. What do you think? How emotional do you think that everybody wants to my heart?
That's so we haven't recorded the movie yet.
Yeah.
And that line is, some of you may not have read it, I won't elaborate, but I know the line you're talking about. I have been waiting to say that line since even before the show, even before I was like, I'm never gonna play this part. That line has been like in my heart for like 6 years. So there have been people, like sometimes I'll do video recordings, people have me do like, stuff in Denji's voice or do lines and stuff, and it's the only thing that I have turned down is doing that line because I haven't done it yet, and I'm like, that's in the tank, I gotta like...
You gotta save it.
Yeah, that's I've been reserving that, so I'm very excited. There's a few moments in the arc that's gonna be in the movie that are, I think, really like essential for Denji, and I think is really gonna kind of shift the energy of like what people think this story is too.
That's
Thank
big.
you.
That's big. That's big.
Yeah,
That's so
I'm
cool.
excited.
Thank you so much. Hi there. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Connor.
Hi, Connor. What's your question?
I love all the different devils in the show, and my question is, whether it be funny or serious, what's a new devil that you'd like to see Denji have an epic battle with?
Ooh, invent a devil, build a devil.
Well, I love, the rule set is so cool because it's such a simple but efficient idea that devils are physical manifestations of human fears. So technically, anything that, if someone's afraid of something, there's a scale of that thing existing, right, in some form. Like, that's why we got the tomato devil and all that. I think I've said this before because it just to me is just I hate the idea of it. The paper cut devil.
No, I don't like that at all. Wow. I mean, that,
Wow, stop it, take it back.
Yeah.
I have to like put pressure on all my fingers now. I'm like, That's a good one though. What do you think? Build a devil, build a devil. What are you afraid of? Tell me your fears, Denji.
Mouth noises, devil.
Oh, that's a good one too. I'm afraid, I'm afraid.
I was thinking about the funny fears that people have. Like, I think maybe one of the funniest fears I've heard that's actually like kind of common is people are afraid of pickles.
Afraid of pickles?
Yeah.
The pickle devil.
What do they think about cucumbers?
That's a good question.
Is it
I
like
don't
just
know.
after they've been brined?
I think it's after they've been brined. Yeah. There's
This is
something
a
about
genuine
it.
question.
Yeah.
I'm
The brine
Anyone
is the
here
enemy.
afraid of pickles? Anyone can't?
Yeah, sorry to trigger you if that was.
Yeah.
You don't want me to bring it up.
But if anybody
sorry.
has any pickles, I also am hungry.
I
so-
love pickles.
That's the thing. If you ask me, I'm way more afraid of cucumbers than I am pickles. Forget cucumbers. Pickles are the way to go. I'm showing my bias. Excuse me. Sorry. Whoa, controversial topic. My friend, I'm so sorry. What's your name?
Hi, I'm AJ.
Hi, AJ.
So I have a personal question. So, as voice actors who work in dubbing, when it comes to sitting on the couch and watching maybe someone else's work, would you prefer that to be in a dub or a sub? And which one would, or what's like an anime that you would say that one has to be a sub and that one has to be the dub, just for personal preference?
I've never been like one or the other kind of person. I mean, obviously, just because this is what we do, and I love acting, period. So like I've been watching movies like ever since I was a child. Like I don't watch movies just like I'm watching it. Like I'm like studying the eye movements of actors and be like, what are they thinking? Like I'm that sicko. So I love watching dubs because I hear so many amazing performances and choices and nuances and things from people. But like also I have like so much joy watching subs. I mean I more often a lot of time I end up seeing subs when I'm seeing movies because sometimes it's just what the release is or whatever. And like recently I've seen The Boy and the Heron last year, the Studio Ghibli film. I saw that twice in theater, both with sub, and I thought it was absolutely extraordinary. I actually haven't seen the dub yet, and it's a fucking killer cast, so I know it's gonna be good. But I think that you get so much from watching both because, the performances are catered to fit differences in culture and to be right for the character in different ways. And there's something really cool about seeing the little performance choices and nuances that come from that. But I've never believed in like one being superior or vice versa. I think it's far too nuanced of a conversation, and I also don't care what people prefer. Like I want everyone to watch it however they want to watch it, and I think it's just kind of amazing that we're at a point in time where we get to experience all of this stuff and have so much access to it. So a lot of the time the dub versus sub like debate to me seems, not that your question is silly, but I feel like the idea of it is like so pointless because I'm like, can't we just like celebrate all this shit? It's so
Like
much
the
easier to just,
thing.
yeah,
We
like
love
we
the
can enjoy
thing.
it in all the ways, and I think it's beautiful, and all of us, as much as we can, we try and connect with everyone, our counterparts and all this stuff. It's cool to see how everyone's doing it.
I mean, I could not have said any of that better. That was beautifully said. I think it's also really cool too that nowadays we have the technology such that the dubs match so well. Because obviously back in the day, in the early days, that was not the case because frankly the technology wasn't there. So we have to very much rely on the software to, and the engineers being, slightly manipulating the audio file such that it fits perfectly and everything. So it is really cool that we are at a point now where you really wouldn't know that it's technically dubbed over, just by watching it and seeing how well it matches. But what I will also say is to answer your question honestly, frankly, as far as what my preference is, I don't have one, but the reason why I don't have a preference.
Finish your drink. Nice.
Now he's ready. I don't actually watch anime.
And that's okay. We still
No, and I appreciate that. And you know, it used to be I've been doing this for so long. I started acting professionally as a kid. The anime stuff specifically, I started back when I was in high school. It's been over 16 years that I've been dubbing anime. And I didn't grow up watching anime. My first introduction to it was working in it as an actor. And after working in it for a little bit, I was like, these shows are so fun, like I should sit down and try to watch some of them, like for fun. And upon trying to do that, I couldn't separate it from the work aspect because that was the first association I ever had with it. And so I found that I couldn't really immerse myself in the story and the characters the same way that I can with other types of media. And even though, just like Ryan was saying, when I'm watching like something live action, for example, hold on, I need to clear my throat.
What a professional, off the mic.
Elegant.
Didn't want to hurt your ears with that. When I am watching live action stuff, I still am thinking about it like as an actor. I can't like get away from it. I am thinking about like, what's that actor thinking in that moment? Or like, oh, that was a really interesting choice they made there to like do this in this way. Or, oh, I really like how they did that line read. But there's something about live action where I'm able to separate it a little bit more. And I think it's because I enjoyed watching live action stuff before I became a professional actor, whereas with anime, that was literally my first association with it, was acting in it. And I used to, back when I first started doing cons and stuff, like I tried to not tell people that I don't watch it for fun because I was worried that it would upset people, and but they'd be like, then you're not worthy of being in it if you don't also watch it. And maybe there are some people who feel that way, and I get it. But I hope people understand that even though I don't watch it for fun, that doesn't mean that I don't love anime. I love it. I love it so much, and it's an amazing thing, and I love being in it.
Well, and your performances speak for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But I really am only able to enjoy it from the behind-the-scenes perspective, rather than just a viewer. But yeah.
I had that trouble when I was in my band, where I was like the main songwriter, and I struggled listening to music. Like I could not enjoy listening to music because I just heard all the pieces, and like it just would send my brain into like this like thinking spiral instead of just being able to enjoy it. So I get it. That was a great question.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, my friend, our last one, so super quick, we got you.
Hi, my name's Kate.
Hi.
It's great to see you again.
Hey, Kate.
And my question is, since Pochita has the mannerisms of a dog, what would a trip to the veterinarian look like for Pochita?
Pochita at the vet.
That's adorable. You're the one with the dog, so you probably have a better answer.
Well, so the way my dog is at the vet, I think probably would be very similar to Pochita. So I have a corgi. His name's Ajax. He's really cute. And he, like Pochita, is very food motivated. So he's like not afraid of going to the vet at all. Like I know it's a common thing for dogs to be very nervous. But there are snacks at all there, so he thinks it's great.
So we're going out to eat. Let's go.
That's right. Like he
My
doesn't
favorite
even
restaurant,
notice.
the doctor. Yeah.
He doesn't even notice when he like is being given his shots because they'll like feed him treats as he's getting the shots. So he doesn't even notice. He is laser focused on like the morsel in front of him. And I feel like that's how Pochita would be too.
You know what? That's also a fair point. Is I feel like since Pochita's also he's got a chainsaw sticking out of his freaking head. I'm assuming shots won't be that big a deal for him. Either that, or he's like a total baby, and
oh my
he
gosh,
like absolutely
that's
is
very
like
possible, like unexpectedly.
Yeah, like
he's
just really like fidgety about it, and
Bring it
and
on,
like
my bird.
Denji would have to stay in front of him and be like, "It's all right, buddy, like I got you," like just like keeping his focus, and then like they put the needle and you see him just like, you know. And then they would go get ice cream.
Thank you so much.
Very cute to think about.
My friends, give it up one more time for our lovely guests.
Thank you guys so much.
My friends, are you going back